Richard began telling one hilarious anecdote after another. Palmer recalls he told the story of Elizabeth's entry on an elephant in a scene from Cleopatra. A scene she objected to but was eventually persuaded to do by director Joe Mankiewicz. It was an intricate shot during sweltering heat. Hundreds of extras were in the crowd. Mankiewicz unexpectedly yelled, "Cut!" Among all the extras was a man selling ice cream. Palmer said that all Richard's stories brought the house down. Suddenly, Richard's hand reached out for the red wine. He downed it in one. According to Palmer, we all looked at each other and we expected trouble. And indeed, it was a Jekyll and Hyde transformation. Burton turned on the acting greats. Richardson was accused of hiding his forgetfulness behind extensive mannerisms. Olivier was accused of being condescending about Burton's talent. Richard even called him a cunt. Given the abuse, it now seems incredible that Olivier agreed to work with Burton again on Wild Geese 2, the film which would have seen Burton reprise his role as Colonel Faulkner. Richardson got up and left after the cunt outburst. Then Burton turned on Gielgud, reminding him of the incident in 1953 when he was arrested for allegedly soliciting in a public toilet. But according to Palmer, what hurt Sir John even more was that he was blamed for Burton's alcoholism. During one of their first plays together, The Lady's Not for Burning, Gielgud noticed that Richard was shivering at the side of the stage. Gielgud, mistakenly believing that Richard was suffering from stage fright, gave him some whiskey. In fact, Burton had a mild form of epilepsy, so the whiskey could have been potentially fatal. Of course, such an incident is hardly the inevitable precursor to alcoholism. We know that Burton's drinking intensified with fame and following his marriage to Elizabeth. But Gielgud was, according to Palmer, greatly upset that he was effectively being blamed for causing Burton's lifelong addiction. As for Olivier, he just sat there watching the whole attack like the quintessential actor that he was, observing human behavior for perhaps a future performance. Palmer told Burton that his car was waiting outside and steered him to the exit. Burton apparently turned to Palmer and said, "I blew it, didn't I?" Palmer couldn't lie. "Yes, you did, Richard." Palmer, who got to know Burton better than most during the protracted shooting, concludes, part of him felt he was their equal, yet part of him felt something had gone wrong. The following morning, he wrote personal notes, apologizing to all three of them.